Hey, what's up guys? This is Adora from iFlip Academy coming at you again with a quick video. For newer folks, a question I get is all of these things. You have all these potential avenues to do deals, or so you think. So what I get asked a lot is, as a newbie, should I try to go after REOs? REO, by the way, is real estate owned, which means a property that has been repossessed by a bank, a lender, and now the lender has the property listed with a local real estate agent and they are trying to sell the property. Or do you go direct to seller, which is, do you market directly to people that actually own properties and might be looking to sell them? So let's kind of analyze this. On one side, we've got the bank, doo-doo-doom, and then the other side, we've got Joe Schmo, Mary Smith homeowner that actually owns their property. So the first thing we want to analyze is terms and rules. So basically with a bank, rules are pretty stringent when you're dealing with the lender is the seller, and then you're dealing with a licensed agent who is handling the whole process. First of all, before you can offer on the property, you have to have EMD. No, that's not a rap group. It's Earnest money deposit, meaning the lender, the agent wants you to put down a certain amount. Usually it depends. Sometimes they'll ask for 5% of the purchase price. Sometimes they'll ask for a flat fee of $1,000, $1,500, $2,000, but they want you to put something down. So you have to figure out, A, do I have the earnest money deposit to put down? B, do I feel confident enough in the deal to put it down? And also, POF, proof of funds. So what a bank and the agent wants to know is, how are you purchasing this property? So when we're talking about investor properties that fit the investor criteria, most of the time, these properties are going to be purchased via cash or hard money. So what does that mean? They want to see that you have the ability to purchase this property. So sometimes when you're new, you're just starting out, you actually don't have the ability to purchase the property. So what do you do? What do you do? As opposed to direct to seller, let's talk about these same things we just went over. When you're dealing with a seller that really wants to sell their property, it's really motivated, in my experience, a really motivated seller will allow you to write up a purchase contract on like a piece of tissue paper. That's how motivated they are. Furthermore, I can only count maybe 2, 3, couple times where a seller has actually asked me to give them a deposit, which we don't do, by the way, at all. If you do have to give a deposit to ratify a contract. So on my purchase agreement, I'll have something like $100 earnest money, but to be held in escrow at my title company. So no money is ever exchanging hands with the seller and I anyway, and you explain this. But it's only, like I said, it's only been a couple times where a seller has been like, oh my goodness, I need $1,000 to show this, that, or third. And usually when they do that, it's usually like a lawyer involved or something like that. And then proof of funds. Once again, maybe once or twice or 3 times where a seller has said, you know, how are you going to purchase the property, and asked to see something like a bank statement or whatever like that. But it's very rare when you're dealing direct to seller. So we've gone over REO versus direct to seller. Now let's talk about terms of the actual deal. When you're dealing direct to seller, essentially you are able to make up your own rules. For example, I've had on my purchase agreement, time to purchase can be anytime between now or 90 days from now. You will never get that with a REO, a lender property that's trying to sell their property. What they usually want is they want the proof of funds showing cash that you can purchase the property. Then they want the earnest money deposit, but at the same time, they want you to close on the property within 30 days or quicker. So it comes down to, when you're first getting started, my advice to the newbie, especially if you're trying to wholesale these properties, I'm totally not saying that this avenue doesn't work, but it's a different degree of difficulty as opposed to dealing direct to a seller that is just ready to go. I've legitimately purchased properties from people, properties that were worth like $400,000 for as low as $60,000 with absolutely no earnest money deposit, no proof of funds. And when I say no earnest money deposit, I mean no money exchanged hands. Really, the seller didn't care. They just wanted to sell the property. As opposed to a bank making you jump through these hoops. Sometimes the bank will even ask you, okay, so prospective buyers of this property must pre-qualify with said bank in order to put in an offer to purchase this property. So all these different hoops. I'm not sure about you, but I like low-hanging fruit. So I like to deal with people that are just ready to go, super motivated, have the ability to sell me their property, and just want to be done with it. So in my opinion, I will have to go ding, 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 direct to seller. And that is what I advise really for anybody. But for your newer investor just starting out, just trying to figure it out, just sticking your feet in a pool and trying to get a feel, REOs will definitely frustrate you. Unless you're able to meet all these criteria. But until then, figure this out. And what I find is when you figure this out, when you're doing deals, you built some cash up, you built up some confidence, then this becomes much, much easier. But as for a starting point, start right here. Direct to seller. And shameless plug, what you can do if you're trying to find out how to market direct to sellers, where do these sellers exist at? How do I target them? If you haven't already signed up for our video series where I'm pretty much taking you from A to Z, how to find, evaluate, and purchase properties, make sure you sign up for that. All right, guys, Sadora from iFlip Academy signing out. We'll see you next time.